When I was a child, I once saw an exciting and terrifying image on the television I knew I'd never forget. The black and white screen showed a shaky film of a tall, dark-haired creature walking briskly through a clearing and momentarily looking back at the camera. A creature that forever looks back at me through time. A creature that waits for me in my dreams. And now I sleep.
Morning.
Looking at 377 today. How are we doing today?
Not bad. How are you doing?
Not bad. It's less smoky and it's beautiful out there.
Oh yeah, nice.
My throat's not killing me.
Oh yeah, cool. Hey, do you believe in Bigfoot?
I mean, I believe in the sense of maybe, because like I don't not believe in him. Well,
Yeah?
Yeah. Why's that?
Oh, I'm just always curious.
Yeah.
Today, the mission is hopefully we're going to link up with PNW Rush. PNW Rush is another Bigfoot researcher that operates in some of the same areas that I do. And I met him once, and he's a really good guy. But he's an accomplished researcher, and he does have a YouTube channel. In fact, there's a link to his channel in the description of all of my videos, so you can go in there and check out his stuff. But he's been squatching up here quite a bit longer than I have, and he has some really good stuff. So definitely check him out. Well, today we are with PNW Rush.
Hello.
We're creeping up the road to Camp A, or Camp 1, what I been calling it, which was the first real camp that I frequented the first year I was seriously squatching in 24. And I want to show him a couple of things, if there's nobody camped in here anyhow. I don't see any tracks though.
Yeah, definitely don't see any tracks.
Yeah, so usually by now you'd see them. Okay. Road to Camp A, or Camp 1, what I was in college, was the first camp that I frequented the first year I was seriously squatching in 24. And I want to show him a couple.
I checked that print and I looked all around, couldn't find a second print. And then I kind of walked down a little bit of a game trail that goes to the other side, and I looked, I didn't see any prints. And I come back, I cast the print. And then I'm gonna go up to my car, it's like 95 degrees, that's boiling. So I'm gonna go and then come back down when it's dry. So I go back the way I came in originally, and I found another single print. You know, it had to be the exact same one, but it wasn't there when I came in.
So it was there when you were there.
I think so.
Right.
And it's like, and it was a better print actually, as far as it was on a flatter surface.
Yeah.
But the first one I found, it was kind of on an angle, but
yeah, I remember that video.
Yeah.
That you did on it.
And then you know, it was perfect toes. It wasn't huge. It was bigger than my foot, but not much bigger. Mm-hmm. And had a really pointy big toe, which was really strange. And when I really cleaned up the cast, I think the little toe was broken. It was just jammed in this way, which it was on a flat area, so I wouldn't think it would be distorted because of the thing, but I have no idea. And I found smaller prints there the year before. So I'm hoping it's a juvenile Bigfoot growing up, but I have no idea.
Right,
yeah.
right.
I mean, that's just...
Well, I suppose if you frequent the area, eventually you'll...
Yeah. And Glenn woke me up and shook me because there was he said a bear growling. It was a 4:58 in the morning. I went back to sleep, but anyway. So I had a video camera running, and I had an audio recorder running, and they were both fully charged before the end of the night. And so I was going to try and find the bear growl. Downloaded the footage that was on there. Both of the recorder was dead and the video recorder were both dead. But I never heard anything that night. But it's been, you know, that campsite's close to where I found footprints. It's close to where I heard the talking noises on my camera. You know, so
Yeah.
just that area. Glenn thinks the Bigfoot know me because I'm up there so often.
Yeah.
But who knows? And we've also, this is the only tree structure we have ever actually really not cool one that we found was at McBride Lake area.
We're gonna go ahead and exit. We're gonna exit Camp 1 and head up to the Woodknock area, which would be fun. It's always a fun place to go, that Woodknock area is. And I kept hearing these limbs snapping,
Right.
going off. It was right over there.
Okay.
And first I didn't think anything of it. You know, like usually it's stuff like that you don't always
Right,
see
right.
at first. It's just woods noise. But then it kept happening. It kept snapping. And I thought, well, maybe something's walking around back there. A lot of times, like the first time I started hearing them, I would hear one back in there, what sounded like it was coming back from that way.
Right.
And then I'd hear, within a few minutes, I'd hear another one back over here.
Okay, so you have multiple.
Then it would be quiet for a while.
Right.
And then you'd hear another one. You'd hear another one from, you know, one of these
Right.
directions, and then you'd hear another one after that.
Huh.
So that's why I started calling this the Woodknock
Yeah.
area. 'Cause
Yeah, so this is where me and Glenn camped last week. I just found this spot, but I'm going to try and get my tent trailer up here and stay for a week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so.
Oh, this is a place you were talking about
Yeah.
before that you said that you guys had camped at.
Right. At 3:21 and 3:25, both of them shut off.
Oh, this is the spot.
Yeah, this is the spot. And this is where Glenn heard the bear growling at 4:58, I think. Yeah. And then just down the road, just barely, is where I caught the audio recording of.
Just down the road.
Yeah, just down the road. It's right off the road. Right
okay,
where I
yeah.
caught the audio recording of the supposedly Bigfoot talking. Something making noise.
Is that the Yelp one?
Yeah, no, the.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
It's the.
Do you remember that one? Let's see. I can play that for you here. Let's see. That was it. I mean, there was a little bit more, but that was pretty much it.
Well, that was.
That
What?
was creepy.
Oh, yeah, no shit. That's really creepy.
It is really creepy. So you should stay there.
Yeah, sounds like it.
So,
Okay.
so right in here, right here's where we did the night. I did the night investigation. It was actually 2 weeks ago, three weeks ago today. And I put apples back there and a recorder, and I forgot to get the recorder when I left, and so it kept recording. And the next day at noon, it recorded those weird sounds. Yeah.
We're here at one of PNW Rush's squatching areas, checking it out.
So that night investigation, that's where I had it, and then I just sat down there on a table had the thermal facing this way
Oh, yeah.
behind me. And
That was like 2 weeks ago,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this is where I did it, just to hang out and see if anything come up behind me, which it never did. Yeah, but then I left the recorder there, just sitting on the rock over there, and noon the next day it picked up those squatchy sounds.
Those weird, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good outing. Hanging out with PNW Rush today. But it is about mid-afternoon. And it's time for me to head back and start on some video editing. So away we go. Happy Sunday. Thanks for watching.